Maniac, how many quail do I actually need? I mean, do I need all these large amounts of birds just to be sustainable? I mean, what kind of pens do I need? How much space do I need? What if I have an apartment and I just want to raise them on my patio? Is that doable? I'm glad you asked that. I'm your boy Maniac. Welcome to Maniac Nation. And I'm fixing to explain to you just how cheap you can get into this. So I've been asked a numerous amount of questions on every platform that I have, and some are being misinformed, and some of these channels have excellent advice. And I mean, I learned what I learned from certain people myself, and the majority of what I learned though was hands-on. I ended up at a trade day, the actual trade day that I actually have a booth at now, and I realized there was a guy that had some. And when I approached him, he had a bunch. But luckily that guy was super cool, y'all, because he explained to me, he said, well, you only have one pen, and you don't really, I didn't have but one son at the time. And he was like, man, you don't need all this stuff. You need to do bare minimum and learn as much as you can. So that's what I'm hoping to do today. You don't need crazy expensive pens. I built my own. I mean, I have an array of pens beside me. They don't look amazing. They're not perfect. They're all made out of scrap lumber. I'm not Bob the Builder. I'm not anything like that. So I had to learn, but along the way, I actually learned how to build my own pens. Y'all, that's what I'm here to teach you. You can get into this extremely cheap. He offered me 1 male and 3 females. You get into it as cheap as you possibly can. Y'all, I took 4 birds, 4, and I built if you watch my videos, you'll see I have 4 quail pens. Yeah, had to make sure that number was right. I built 4 quail pens, and I actually have a 5th up there. But I raise a lot of quail. I learned that I love quail. I didn't even know if I was crazy about quail, but I had done so much research that I understood that I really wanted quail. The nutritional value, the amount of protein, what their eggs offer you compared to chicken eggs, y'all, it is amazing. No matter how my lifestyle changes or anything, I will always raise quail because the quality of the meat, how easy they are to take care of. With just 4 birds, I started building a flock. I think I ended up with 25 or 30. I traded some of those birds for another set of birds. I replaced my line with this line. Those birds created more birds. I bought some different quail, and I just kept repeating the process. I used scrap lumber so it didn't cost me anything, and it doesn't have to be crazy. Y'all, it don't have to be this extremely treated lumber, all this crap. You can just get scrap lumber, buy you some paint, paint it. It'll last for a while. Keep it painted. If it's going to touch the ground, put a whole bunch of coats on it. That's what I did. Ground contact is probably the main source of where you're going to get your rod in, but people don't understand it doesn't take a lot to get into quail. My Bob Whites here, I haven't eaten one, sold one, anything. They are mainly for human consumption and our family to eat. I don't think I've eaten any, as a matter of fact. I have turned a lot loose. Now, as the wintertime guy here, I had already filled up my freezer with all the quail that I needed, so there wasn't no point in worrying about that, and I would like to repopulate this mountain with quail, and I'm sure the neighbors will too. So this is the quail you see behind me. This is the nicest pen that I built is right there. Raising quail is an amazing benefit. You have the poop on the ground. You can use that. Make sure you let it go through some heat. Make sure it composts down, because that is an extremely hot fuel to your fertilizer. Let me tell you, it will fertilize anything, but you definitely want it to go through the right amount, at least 6 months, I would say. And you're gonna have people that say, you gotta have automatic waterers. People complain to me all the time about automatic waterers. But y'all, this farming has, on a small scale like we do, it has really made us more physically able to do things by coming out and watering. And by us coming out to do the watering, we're able to pay attention to our animals a whole lot better. We're able to put hands on, eyes on all the time. If you have automatic waterers, I mean, it could stop up, it could do all that. And I think automatic waters are great. I haven't watched a channel that has gave me the greatest push to do the automatic waters. I'm sure my daughters and my wife would love for that to take place. But what I'm saying is I pay very close attention to my birds. I use feeders. People don't, oh, they waste feed. They do this. Oh, they're going to spill the waters. They're going to do that. Y'all, this is, I'm telling you, you're going to gather so much knowledge and fun from doing what I'm trying. My whole predicate of all this is for you to enjoy the experience, learn the experience. If you jump in and you do all the easiest stuff first and then the easy stuff messes up, well, you have nothing to fall back on and you don't know what to do, when to do. I'm saying start out slow. Start out with the bare minimum. You can get into that very cheap. The feeders are like $4 or $5 a piece. They can range anywhere from $4, $7, $10. Then you can get stupid elaborate, I guess. And then you got all your waterers. You have all different types of waterers. You do have that. So it's really all on what you can afford, but make sure you know what your budget is. Make sure you know the means that you need that you can afford, because you can't overdo any animal. It doesn't matter if it's quail, ducks, turkeys, chickens, pigs. It doesn't matter. You can always overdo it. You can overstress your bank account big time. Your budget can hurt very bad. So what I'm trying to teach y'all is how to get into this extremely cheap. I took 4 birds, 1 male, 3 females, and I created 4 cages, fixing to be a 5th, of birds off of those 4. I was able to, I could have raised all of them off of those 4, but I wanted to add a new line and then change the lines. And that doesn't matter. But you could have took those same 4 birds and for the next 4 to 5 years, produced a ton of meat for your family and never changed the process. You don't have to add no more birds. They're going to create the birds for you. Y'all, this is all about sustainability, knowing where your food comes from, amazing nutrition on a small scale budget, because that's what this channel is all about. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would I love the elaborate stuff? Yes, I would, but I can't afford that right now. And if one day I'm able to afford it, I'm still going to want to explain to people on a small scale budget, you can enjoy it more and have more fun. See, there I go on those rants again. I'm trying my best, y'all. But for everybody that has asked me, can you really raise them in a closet? I mean, I probably wouldn't want to because the smell, but yes, you could raise quail in a closet. Instead of building your pens long, you could build them up. You can put trays, you can put drop trays, and you can put napkins on it. And I guess if you got up that morning and cleaned it and that afternoon and cleaned it, you probably could maintain the smell pretty well. You could do it. So I'm not going to say you can't. You definitely can, because y'all, they're so easy. As long as you keep them feed in their pen and you keep them watered, you have nothing to worry about. These birds can take extreme cold. They're not crazy about heat. They will pant. People say, oh, they don't. No, they'll pant. They'll pant just like any other animal. But they can handle a lot. But therefore, I make sure that there's holes in all my pens where wind can come through. And if you'll ever notice on some of my pens, there's a cover because I need them to get away from the wind. Now, in my Bob White pen here, there's nothing in the back. But actually, I have it. What I do is I take and screw a back plate on in the harsh winter, and then they can get behind that and it blocks the wind. I've just taken it out because it's getting pretty warm. Actually, the outfit I'm wearing right now probably wasn't the right choice to make. But if you have an outdoor patio, say you have an apartment and you want to raise quail on that patio, y'all, that is way doable. You can build a small pen like I have to my right. You may not be able to see it all. I mean, you can build it from 1 foot to 2 foot wide and 3 to 4 foot long, however you want to do it. Now, they say that you can put 1 bird into 1 square foot. I mean, a lot of people, there's people that disagree on that and everything. But you can pretty much see how much a bird needs whenever it gets in there. If you're going to do small scale, keep it small scale. And if you need to add more birds, add another pen right on top. If you're building a small cage, how big is it to put another small cage up? Put another small cage up. I'm sure on the left side of your patio, you could add more. Y'all, you can do this with less than $20. You could have your birds. You should be able to. And we'll say $12 for your waterer and your feeder. It could be $20. So less than $50. you're going to be able to start your quail journey. And then all you got to do, y'all, keep them fed, keep them watered, and they're pretty much going to do the rest for you. And keep the poop, you want to keep that cleaned up. I keep piling hay on top of mine, and I make layers out of it. That way when I pitchfork it out, I put it on the compost pile, it's already layered. It's got your carbon, your poop, carbon, all that. So we make sure that we do all that. But if you're in an apartment, you know, throw it in a bag, throw it in a trash can. I mean, if your trash is getting picked up regularly, you're not going to acquire that much. With very small birds, I mean, very small amount of birds, you're going to have very small amounts of poop. They do poop a lot, y'all, but as long as you're changing it out daily, you're not going to have to worry about that. And you would be able to raise enough birds on the patio of your apartment for fairly cheap. A bag of feed on, we'll say 10 birds is going to last you quite a while. And I only feed mine wild game bird feed. Now the goose wants to talk. Get you a bag of like really good feed. Like I use Tucker Millen. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just like it. It's an organic feed. It's plant-based. That's what I prefer to use. Another problem that you may want to run into that I don't want to forget is you'll notice your birds will start having damage to the tops of their heads. Some will have damage to their lower backs. Now, usually, if you see this damage to the backs of their heads or around the front and their eyes, that's usually a male. That also needs to be addressed here. Now, quail are pretty, they're cool, all that, but they are vicious little creatures. I will tell you that. Not to you, but to each other. Man, they turn into little T-Rexes, little raptors, something like that, y'all. So you want to keep your male and female population at a balance. I prefer 1 male to 5 females. You'll hear 1 male to 4. That's fine. You figure out your range where you want it. But I like to keep mine 1 male to 5 females, no less than 4. I'd say the 5 really makes it okay, and you still may have a little fighting, y'all. You're probably still going to have some fighting. Quail are just vicious, but you'll figure out some males can get along, some males cannot. But if you'll look for the bird that'll have, you know, you'll notice the redness on their beak. That's the bird you might want to get rid of and see if the fighting stops right there. I tell people all the time, some birds are just vicious. I don't know why they're vicious, but take out the bird that has the red stuff on his beak. That's normally a problem child right there. If you start seeing the damaged heads, you can have a box, even a cardboard box, whatever. You can turn anything into a hospital, but you want to keep it away from everybody else if you want to save that bird. Like we'll have really damaged birds and we'll put them in what we call the hospital. I have a designated area. This is designated just for a hospital. And my other pen, there's another hospital. But we'll keep them there so that we can get them fat because y'all, we're at the end of the day, we're eating these animals. So I don't want to lose a bird and not be able to get my money out of it or my investment out of it, you would say. So I'm going to eat those birds and I'm going to try and keep them healthy, let them doctor up. It won't take them long to heal back up, look like a normal bird. Take the problem birds out. If you keep them really well fed and watered, they don't have to wait on nothing. It will control most of your fighting. But you want to keep your males to a minimum. Look for that aggressive male. Get that male out. Y'all, you're going to have so much fun doing this. There will be some birds that make you mad because they may hurt one of the birds you like. Put it in the hospital to get it better. Get rid of that bird and start the process over, y'all. You're going to have fun with this. You're going to make mistakes. So you're not going to do everything perfect, y'all. You're just learning how to do this. And being on a small scale, it'll keep it so controllable to where if there is a problem, you can fix it really fast. I hope all this information was helpful. I hope this video wasn't terrible. If there's something I didn't talk about, let me know. If you'd like for me to talk to you about the incubation process of quail eggs, let me know in the comments. I'll make a video about it because a lot of people don't understand how simple quail are. You don't have to wait as long on a quail to get the eggs, and you also don't have to wait as long on the meat before they're ready to eat. So y'all let me know in the comments if you liked the video and if you didn't like it. If you do want to see an incubating video, please let me know down there. Please comment, y'all. Tell me something about yourself. Tell me the state you're in. I'd love to hear from you. Till next time, I am your boy Maniac. Thank you for watching. We out.